Hello and welcome to a Xanda video tutorial. Today let us talk about how to streamline and automate generating invoices for group services. This will be helpful to those of you who run group sessions with multiple clients in one session and you need to generate individual invoice for each group participant. I will also show you how to add a group service to an already existing group appointment and how to set this up so that your clients can book group sessions online and have their invoices generated and shared with them automatically. Let us start from the beginning. We'll create a new group appointment and allocate a group service to it, and then I'll show you how this will be used for automatically billing all group participants. So, we are creating a new appointment in the practitioner's calendar, and here we will select the group type of appointment. Let's give it a name. And now the next step is to select a group service. It can be one of the services that you have and use for your individual appointments. Why not, if the billing information of that service is correct? Or you could create specific services to be used with your group appointments. I have such one created. Additionally, I can add resources and flags to my group appointment if that helps, but the basic steps are create an appointment and select a default service for it. And I'm saving the changes. You also may select not a service but a product. For example, if you are billing clients for some products that you sell during that group session. It can be some resources, it can be a book, it can be a webinar, it can be some supplements, some equipment, anything that clients are purchasing during such a group session. You can use that item, product item, to also generate an invoice. So there you go, we have a group appointment with a group service added here, as you can see. And what we can do now is to complete setting up this appointment, such as limiting the number of participants in each group and adding clients. And there you go, and let's save the changes. So the basic steps are done, and because we added a client after the group service was already allocated to the appointment, let's have a look at this participant. We will see that the invoice is already generated for the participant using that default group service we allocated to our appointment. So this is how it will work. Every time you add a client to your session or they book themselves a spot in this session through your client portal, the default group service will be used by the system to automatically generate an invoice for this client. Of course, you can edit that invoice at any time afterwards, but this initial step will be done for you automatically. You can also add a default group service to an already existing group appointment, even if you have some clients already added to that appointment. Let me show you how this can be done. So let's find our group appointment that already been created. You can see that we have some clients already there. So all you need to do is here at the top of this appointment in the service section, click the drop down and select the service or the product template which you will be using to bill all the participants in this group. So let me select my group service here and save the changes. So what will happen now when you add a new client to the group appointment or when they book themselves a spot there online? This group service will be used to bill this client automatically. Let's have a look. Clicking on that client, I just added after adding the group service, and I can see that they have the invoice generated for them. If I now go back to this group appointment and click on the client who has been added to this appointment before adding the default service, for example, Erica here, we can see that there is no invoice available, so we can just create this invoice for her manually. This is done to keep the historic records in your account. So whenever you add a group service to a group appointment, the already existing participants before the group service was added won't be updated. This is for you to manually update their billing to make sure that their invoices are correct. But all the ongoing clients who will be added afterwards will have invoices created automatically for them with the default group service or product you have just added to your existing group appointment. Let me now show you how the system will behave when clients book a spot for themselves in a group appointment or in a class which has a default service added to it through the client portal. So let's go to our settings menu and find the client portal in the schedule category here to enable the online bookings for your clients for your group services. So the first step is to ensure that the accept an online booking switch is turned on here at the top. And now we'll scroll to the online booking section of settings and make sure that the allow group booking switch is also on. While we are here, let me also show you the settings that needs to be enabled if you want to allow or require your clients to pay for the group sessions that they will be booking using that default group service you already added to your appointment. So while we are still here on the online booking settings for the client portal, let's go to the request payment when booking section. Please be mindful that you will need to have your Stripe integration enabled in your Zendesk account to have access to this feature. And once this is on, let's have a look at the group or class bookings option. Click into this drop down and select either optional, or if you just want to allow clients to pay for their booking for their group sessions, or required if you will require the clients to pay when they book their group service. And now let's save the changes. So now let us have a look at the client experience that they will have while booking a group appointment. So now we are on the client portal homepage of a client who registered, logged in, and now they want to book a class appointment. So here, click book class because we enabled it for this client. Now the client has option to select one of the group appointments you made available for the client portal. So let's select one. Let's select the group appointment time, and this is the confirmation page. Because we made the online payment required for this service, the client will first need to enter their card details and process the payment to complete the booking. And remember, this can be made optional, or you can disable the online payments for group bookings at all, and just the clients will see their invoice on the client portal, or you will be able to send an email with the invoice file or invoice link for this client. But let me complete this booking. And there you go. Process the online payment, book the appointment. I can see this confirmation here. And for example, if I enabled the access to invoices for my clients, if I click on this invoices tab, I will see the invoice available here, and I already paid for it, so I can just download a receipt for myself. And if we now go back to the calendar and have a look at that group appointment, we can see that the client has been added to the appointment, the invoice was generated for them, the online payment has been recorded. So all this work done without your manual involvement at all. And I think this is a wonderful feature. And before we finish this video, let's make some side notes about how to recur a group appointment with a group default service to make sure that all the consecutive appointments will have automatic invoices for their participants. So what we need to do is to ensure that the initial group appointment has the default service or product for the group selected. And now we will recur this appointment. So here is the next recurring appointment. We can see that the default service for the appointment has been copied into the next appointment, as well as the clients that have been added to the original appointment have also been copied. Now please have a look that even if the clients didn't have an invoice or had an invoice with a different service on the original appointment, when they are copied into the next in the recurring series, they will have an invoice generated with the default service. So this is how the system behaves when you need to recur a group appointment with the default service.